Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my June book haul because it's June already. I feel like May went by so fast. So much happened in May, so much has been happening this year in general, and I'm wearing a tank top, but you just can't see from the angle, but yes, there's a tank top. So yeah, it's June, and when you're watching this, I'm currently on my way back from BA in New York, and I'm sure that was a bunch of fun, and even just thinking about it I'm getting very excited. So yeah, I'm pre-recording this and scheduling it so that it still goes up on the 1st as my book hauls do. So in May I had a bunch of pre-orders and stuff come in and just a lot of bargain books, so yeah, I'm gonna get right into my haul so you guys aren't here for a very long time. The first book that I want to show you guys is one that I'm actually very excited about, and that is Disney After Dark Kingdom Keepers. I think the book is just called Kingdom Keepers, and it's the first book in the Disney After Dark series by Ridley Pearson. The day I picked this up at Chapters, I was just browsing the middle grade section. I saw this and it looked so cute. I started reading it in the car because I was waiting for something. And yeah, so it's middle grade, and it is about 5 young teens. I think they're like 13, like they're the younger kind of teens. And they kind of get to experience what the Disney theme park is like when everything's closed down. And I only read like the first 20 pages, and one of the main characters is a guy named Finn. And yeah, so it's just really interesting because you get all these Disney characters kind of running around, and yeah, it's really cute so far. So I hope to read it or finish reading it in August when we do our middle grade year-a-thon readathon. Then I picked up If I Stay by Gail Forman, and from what I know, I'm trying to go into this blind, is about a girl who gets into an accident, and I think her parents died, and she's kind of choosing between whether she wants to live or die. And I think it's going to be very sad, and this all takes place in a day. So I've heard it's very good, and I know there's a companion called Where She Went, I think, and I think that's told from her boyfriend's perspective. So I really want to read this. I've never read anything by Gail Forman, but I've heard fantastic things, so I'm very excited. And with the order of If I Stay, I picked up, or I pre-ordered, I should say, the one by Kira Cass. I have read the Selection, the Elite, and the novellas, so this is the last book I have to read to finish this trilogy. And I'm not the biggest fan of this trilogy, to be totally honest. I hated the Elite. I don't know if hate's a good word. I think I gave it like 3 stars. And I didn't like this Selection. I remember I read that for a book club I was in at the time, and I did not like it. I was one of the only people that didn't like it. And if you don't already know, this book is kind of a dystopian, not kind of, it's a dystopian, where I think it was 35 girls get chosen as part of the selection to be the next queen or princess, eventually queen, whatever, royalty, and it's just kind of natural dystopian with rebels and all that kind of stuff. So I'm Team Maxon. I haven't read this yet, but I want to. I was going to for our last year-a-thon when we did the Finish Ketchup series, but I didn't. So these covers are gorgeous, I'll give it that. But yeah, hopefully I'll read it soon. Then these next 4 books kind of have a funny story to them. Briefly, in the first week of May, it was probably within like the first 5 days, I shattered my phone. It's a very long story that I don't want to go into. I don't call it my fault. It was kind of shared blame. But the whole screen of my phone, it was like right here, it hit something and it shattered internally too. So I had to get a new one because I couldn't fix it. But for the 17 hours I didn't have a phone, I was pissed because I paid like $450 for my phone out of my own money that I saved. So I was pissed that it broke. And it wasn't warranted, so I was going to have to pay to get a new one. So my mom felt really bad, and while we were at the mall waiting, because we were waiting and they were going to replace it, and then we found out they couldn't replace it, so I had to wait another 2 hours to see what would happen and what I had coverage for, and I didn't have the Apple Care. So basically I was browsing the bookstore because that's where I go at my happy place. There was a bookstore in that mall, and she so kindly bought me 4 books that I was going to pay myself first of all. And yeah, so I'm really excited about all 4 of these books. And the first one is Jay's Journal by Anonymous. And I started reading this while I was waiting because I needed a distraction. I was like losing my mind. I was so angry. And this is about a guy that I think did drugs. Yeah, he was doing drugs and he ended up taking his own life. So that's kind of what was in the intro in the first couple days that I read. but like the other ones, it's told like a diary. So they're quick reads and I'll probably read it over the summer. I've read Go Ask Alice and Lucy in the Sky and they were decent, so I picked this one up. Then I picked up Bliss by Lauren Miracle. This is a book I've been dying to read since I think I started Goodreads, except I've never heard anybody haul it or talk about it. It came up on my recommended Goodreads, and I think it's like a ghost story. Like the main character hears like these whispers about a murder that happened in the school, I think in the school, a couple years ago or a while ago, and it just seems really creepy. I'd gotten it out of the library, but I never had a chance to actually read it, so I'm excited. And there's like journal entries and blood-stained pages and all that kind of stuff, so I think this is gonna be really good and I'm so excited, except it's pretty big, so I'm excited. Then I also got Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. I think this is about a girl that has cancer, so she does a bunch of things with like no regrets, and then she finds out she went into remission. So I think it'll be funny, and I don't know if heartwarming is the right word, but it sounds really good. I've heard really good things and I like the cover. I like the simplicity of it, but it's still very pretty. And the last book out of those four that I got the day my phone broke, I picked up Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. I've also heard good things about this one and I've wanted it for a while, like since it started coming out. And I think this is about a world or a society where people have like genes, homicidal tendency syndrome. So yeah, that's basically all I know, and hopefully it's as good as I've heard. And then one of my pre-orders that I got super early, and I pre-ordered it before it even had a cover, is Brunette Ambition by Leah Michelle. If you know me, you know I love Glee and I'm obsessed, and they're on hiatus right now till early next year, and that sucks. But yeah, so that's it. Look at the jacket, and it's gorgeous and I love purple. So this is just kind of, I haven't read it yet like straight through, but it's a collection of like workouts and like recipes and stories of her, like questions and answers and her past, and yeah. So I think it'd be really good, and I'm going to read it in the summer, but it's also very short, so I should read it like a day. And then collectively over the month, my local grocery store has a really good selection of books, and they're usually 40% off. So I picked up quite a few, so I just want to show you guys those. The first one that I got is Red Hill by Jamie McGuire. I left the stickers on to show you guys so I'd remember which ones I got. And I wanted this one when I first saw it at Chapters like forever ago, but it was like $20 to buy in paperback, and I'm like, that's not happening. So I got it 40% off. And this is the author of the Beautiful Disaster series, and I love Beautiful Disaster. I haven't read Walking Disaster yet, but I want to this summer. And so I know this is another adult or maybe new adult, and I'm not sure what it's about. Apocalyptic. So yeah, it should be good because I like her writing style, so I have high hopes. Then I picked up Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I've also never read anything by Colleen Hoover, but I recently got Hopeless. So I'm excited to read her because I've heard fantastic things. And I'm not sure what this is about. I think it's YA, but it might be... It says 22, so I think that means she's new adult. Like not YA, I think that's more new adult. So then I'm very excited to read this because I want to read more new adult. So yeah, that's about all I know. So I know that it's like romance contemporary, and I'm excited. Then I picked up Through the Zombie Glass by Gina Showalter. I own Alice in Zombieland, but I haven't read it yet. I like, if you know, collecting series and then kind of marathon reading them. But I've heard iffy things about this series, so that is kind of a reason why I want to have them all and then marathon read them in the hopes that it gets better, which is what I wish I'd done with the selection. But so yeah, I can't tell you what this one's about because I haven't read the first one, so I'm just gonna move on. And then the last three that I got at 40% off I'm so excited about, and that is the first 3 books in the Pushing the Limits series. I know there's a 4th one coming out by Katie McGarry, so that is Pushing the Limits, Dare You To, and Crush Into You. Pushing the Limits and Dare You To I actually have on my Kindle app because they were daily deals or monthly deals once upon a time. But I've been dying to read this series. People keep telling me I need to read this series because I love contemporary books, but I never know which ones to go for. So I know that the characters in these books, like they're companion books, but they all kind of have dark-ish paths, so they're not like just fluffy books. they all have their struggles. So yeah, I'm so excited to read those, and the fact that I got them at like $9 a piece in hardcover just makes it so much better. Then I placed another chapter's order of a pre-order, and that was Dangerous Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I own the Castor Chronicles, but I have not read any of them. But this was just gorgeous, and Chapters had it cheap. I think it was like $9 or $11 hardcover to pre-order it. So I was like, I'm gonna pre-order it because I'm probably gonna want to read it anyway. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. And this is another one I got early, so thank you, Chapters. You've always done amazing things for me. And I couldn't tell you what it's about because I don't know, but it's pretty. And then in that order to get $25 free shipping, I picked up Alice in Tomorrowland. I bought this for my friend Keisha for her birthday, and when I picked it up in Chapters, the employee that helped me find it, because I didn't know where to look, she said that it was really funny and that people are starting to read it more. So ever since I bought it for Keisha, I was like, I want to get my hands on this book. So I did, and it's like just little retellings, but like modern day. So I'll read you the little inside flap because it's short. Ooh, that's pretty too. It says, Peter Pan finally has to grow up and get a job, or at least start paying rent. Cinderella swaps her glass slippers for Crocs, the tortoise and the hare Facebook stalk each other, Goldilocks goes gluten-free, and Rapunzel gets a buzz cut. So it's kind of like, obviously fairy tale retellings, but modern age. So I think it's going to be hilarious, and I can't wait. Then, as many of you know, because I mentioned before, the bargain bookstore that I went to by my house sadly is closing down, so I went and I picked up 3 books for like one last hurrah, but I think I have another couple hauls to post because I've been behind on posting, so my bad. But the first one that I got from there, because everything was 30% off, and then it went to 50% off, so I picked up The Eye of Mines by James Dashner for like $9 hardcover, brand new, and yeah. My friend Keisha read it and reviewed it, and I read her review and I got very intrigued. So when I saw it there for 50% off, I was like, yeah, getting it. So don't know what it's about because I forget from when I read her review, but I'll link it down in the description if you guys are curious about this book. Then I picked up Rush by Maya Banks. This is the first book in the Breathless trilogy, and it was only like $7 compared to $15. So I had to get it, and I know this is new adult, and I can't remember who talked about it, but somebody I know was talking about the series. So that's about all I know, is that it's new adult. So I'm excited. And then the last book that I got from Booksmart was a graphic novel, and that is The Claws Come Out by Pat Lewis. This was like $4, so I kind of had to get it. And we're doing a graphic novel month, so I know it'll be a very quick read. And I don't own many graphic novels. I think I don't own any graphic novels, just the Death Note mangas. So this will be interesting to own. Oh no, I own Mouse. I guess that counts as a graphic novel. So then I picked up Soul Screamers Volume 4 by Rachel Vincent. I don't know what this series is about, but I've kind of invested myself by collecting 4 of the bind-ups, so I hope these are kind of the end, since it's called Last Request, so hopefully that means it's the last one and then I can read it. But yeah, so they're bind-ups of 3 books, and yeah, hopefully they're good because I own 4 of them. Then I was browsing Amazon for bargain books and I found Perfect Escape by Jennifer Brown. I read Hate List by her and I really enjoyed it, so I'm curious to see what else she's kind of written and if I enjoy her other books. So this is about a girl that kind of runs away with her brother, and that's about all I know. Then one of my most anticipated books of this year, I got The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. I read the Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by this author and I loved it, and I own This Is What Happy Looks Like, but I haven't read it yet. But I love that all the spines are going to match with like the same typography and the little symbols, and this just sounds really cute, so I can't wait to read it in the summer because summer's coming at the end of the month. I'm going to be done school, and July and August I'm just going to read before September. Oh yeah, then I placed a book outlet order and I got 5 books. The first one I got is The S Word by Chelsea Pitcher. This is about a girl that kind of goes to school, and slut was written on her locker. I'll just read you kind of what it says briefly. First it was slut scribbled all over Lizzie Hart's locker, but 1 week after she kills herself, suicide slut replaces it in her own loopy scrawl. So I'm not sure, but it was cheap, so And then I picked up Compromise by Heidi Irb. I own Freeze Frame by this author and I haven't read it yet, but this cover kind of intrigued me, and it is about a girl who is always on the run because her dad is a con man. So it's just kind of her journey looking for her aunt. Yeah. Then I picked up The Knife That Killed Me by Anthony McGowan. This is about a guy who is kind of hanging out with the wrong crowd, and there's kind of like rivals involved, so it seems like it'll be kind of like a thriller, and one day he gets handed a knife and it's kind of like, hey, you gotta go take care of those rivals. So I'm really into kind of books like that. I like thrillers, and yeah, it was cheap, so I had to. Then I picked up Love and Other Perishable Items by Laura Buzo. I don't think I've heard many people talking about this book, but it was cheap on Book Outlet, and it's just a contemporary, so I'm kind of stocking up on contemporaries for the summer, even though I'm probably not going to read them all because I have a lot of books to read. So I like this cover, so even if I don't read it, it's going to look very cute on my shelf. Recently, about last month or the month before, I got a Costco membership, so when I was there I saw The Here and Now by Anne Bashers for like $12, so I had to get it. I own My Name is Memory by her, and I know she wrote the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, which I have not read any of those books, but this cover just really grabbed my attention, and that, so, you know, that's cool too. And I really have no idea what this is about, except that it's YA, thrilling, exhilarating, haunting, and heartbreaking. So a girl from the future might be able to save us if she lets go of the one thing she's found to hold on to. So hopefully it's good. I'm very excited, and it's short. Then I picked up These Broken Stars by Amy Coffin and Megan Spooner. I know this is like, well, I've heard, I don't know, that it's almost like a Titanic retelling, that it kind of has like Titanic in space aspects. So I had taken it out of the library and I was about to read it until I saw that it was a series, because it said like sequel coming soon, and I'm like, I'm not going to read this first book right now. So now that I have it, I'll wait till the second one comes out, and then if there's a third one, then I'm probably going to wait again. But I have it and it's gorgeous, so I'm excited to have it. And then finally, last but not least, it might be my favorite, or not my favorite, the book that I'm most excited for in this whole haul, and that is Erased by Jennifer Rush. I recently finished Altered and I loved it. So I think before I'd even finished Altered, I was like, I need this book because I want to know what happens, and then school got crazy. So I haven't read it yet, but it might be like the first book I read after I'm done. So it's shorter too. And the way they ended it, I was just like satisfied, but I'm like, hey, I need the sequel, I need to know what happens, and I need to know now. So yeah, I have it, and I think there's a third one, so I'm very excited. These covers too. I like this cover change. I like the, yeah. Okay, done talking. Those were all the books that I had for June, and I'm probably gonna have a separate New York haul, and have that not be my July book haul, but I'll probably still have a July book haul. Because I'm gonna go to Book Outlet on my way back, so I'm probably at Book Outlet as you're watching this right now. Because I'm gonna pass it on the way to the airport. You guys probably don't care. So yeah, look forward to a New York haul and probably vlogs from when I'm in New York. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you've read any of these books or want to read any of them, let me know what you thought down in the comments, or let me know what some of the books you bought in the last month were. I'm very hyper, I have a lot to do. So I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!